Hello, my episode number 333 of the TEW 2020 Challenge Run. This is going to be SmackDown for week 3 of October 2023. And yeah, we're coming off the heels of a very, very eventful SmackDown last week. And tonight we haven't got many things announced, but we do have a big 4-way I haven't previously announced. The winner will go on to Cyber Sunday to wrestle Montez Ford, and then there'll be some kind of vote attached to it. I'm not sure what the vote will be just yet. I don't think it's going to be stipulation, but it's obviously also not challenger, so who knows. But yeah, without any more further ado, let's jump straight into tonight's show. We open the show with Adam Pearce in his office talking. It's a cold open with him and Montez Ford and Ora Mensah in his office. And Tenz's like, well, let me get this straight. You got 4 challengers lined up for me, 4 of them. This goes, that's right, last week, that fire that I saw from Buster Gates, I liked it, and I would love to see you and him run it back this time in Vegas at Cyber Sunday. And also, you got unfinished business with LA Knight, so he's also going to be with a shot to become champion. But I also believe that Daniel Bryan deserves the opportunity to become World Heavyweight Champion, as does Ilya Dragunov, who was cheated out of a victory over Daniel Bryan back at No Mercy. So tonight, it will be a fatal 4-way main event. It will be Ilya Dragunov, LA Knight, Daniel Bryan, and Buster Gates, with the winner of that match going on to Cyber Sunday to face you for the World Heavyweight Championship with a vote pending. It is official. So yeah, there's the confirmation of the participants in that match. It will be LA Knight, Ilya Dragunov, Daniel Bryan, and Buster Gates in a 4-way. Should be a banger. We kick off the actual show with John Cena. He's back this week. We advertised him last week. We're still on the John Cena run for another 2 weeks in this save. And he says, boy, I missed 1 week last week and all things are getting all kinds of messed up. First of all, No Mercy was a rousing success. My first premium live event since WrestleMania. And I'm proud to say that I took home a victory. Kev, Sammy, Florence. We did it. You guys are still champions. You're welcome. But that leaves our opponents on the night. Hit Row. Hit Row and more so Swerve. He's been... I saw it last week. And he's been manipulating those other members of his group for months now. Maybe they were just too blinded to see it. But Swerve, last week, you told people not to say my name. You told people not to mention John Cena around you. And why is that, Swerve? I'm sorry for whatever it was I did to you. I'm sorry for wronging you. But the way you been acting and what you did last week to your stablemates, your crew, that ain't okay with me. So, Swerve, if you're a man enough and you say, or as much of a man as you say you are, as much as a top star as you say you are, here's the official challenge. Cyber Sunday. I haven't been in a singles match since WrestleMania, but Swerve, I've got 1 more left in me for this year. So how about it? You versus John Cena at Cyber Sunday. So yeah, there's the big opening segment. John Cena has challenged Swerve Scott to a match at Cyber Sunday. We don't know what kind yet. We don't even know if Swerve's accepted it. But who knows? I hear we're going to hear from Swerve later on tonight because Bronco Nemo and Lucian Price are making their in-ring debut. So yeah, I'll have to see what he says when that time comes. Before then, though, we get the in-ring return of the Creed brothers, Julius and Brutus. The Creeds obviously do win. They beat Indusher in 7:58 when Brutus pins Veer Mahan. 42 for Julius, 62 for Brutus, 46 for Sangha, and 50 for Veer. If you're wondering why Brutus is so much higher, it's because the year that Julius spent out with the Shattered Elbow, I sent Brutus down to NXT. So he had a bit of a singles thing going on down there, and he must have picked up popping skills in the Julius' time off. So that's why he's performing so much better right now. yeah, maybe Brutus Creed is the single star Creed in this save. But with Regal by their side, the boys pick up their first win here tonight. You know, their first win in their first match in over a year. Regal then takes the mic and says, well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Like I promised last week, Kevin, Sammy, I hope you're watching from wherever you are, because you're looking at the greatest tag team here on SmackDown, the future greatest tag team to ever do it in professional wrestling, Julius and Brutus Creed. And you said you wanted for the longest time that you wanted real competition here on SmackDown. Well, boys, I hope you haven't bitten off too much more than you can chew, because I have always respected the two of you. But when you face those Creed brothers for the championships, you can kiss them goodbye. He's interrupted by Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams, who also have a tag team match tonight coming up next. He says, well, Regal, chill for a sec. Listen, you've been a key hand in NXT, for a while now, You helped me and Trick exponentially in our growth here in WWE, so this comes at you with every single bit of respect it possibly can. You see, I've just got done talking to Adam Pearce about things, but more importantly, about the future of this tag team division. And Trick Mello gang, we both recently came up short in our respective championship opportunities, but if we stick together as a tag team, then we're going to be the ones to take those championships from Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, not the two of y'all. So how about it? Next week, it's the Creed brothers versus Trick Mello gang. Winners go on to face Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn at a later date for those SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Regal goes, well, quite the bold strategy, to approach us face to face. I like it though. It's not becoming of you, Carmelo. I'm usually coming to expect less from you, but if it's a singles tag team opportunity against the Creed brothers you want, you're on. We then get the match, which gets an 84. Holy shit. Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams defeat Grand Malik and Lindsay Dorado of Death from Above. Mello pins Lindsay with nothing but net. 74 for Trick, 83 for Mello, 80 for Lindsay, and a 91 for Grand Malik. And yeah, big win for them ahead of their match with the Creeds next week, with big tag team title implications. We then get the first of 4 promo segments tonight from the 4 men in the Fatal 4-Way main event. The first is Daniel Bryan with Miles Bourne by his side, training behind him. And he goes, last week I showed my new apprentice, my new protege, Miles Bourne, what it's like to be a true, cold-blooded ass-kicker in that ring. You see, you can throw any man you want at me. You can throw Ilya back at me. You can throw LA Knight at me. You can throw Buster at me. I'm better than all of them because I proved that I'm the best wrestler in the world. I beat Okada back at SummerSlam. I beat Ilya. And tonight I beat Ilya again alongside those other 2. And I punched my ticket to Las Vegas, where I finally get back what is mine. That WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And Miles Bourne, he's got a lot to take in, a lot to learn. And he's going to be by the side of the new world champion. Ain't that a great way to learn? We then cut to the Chase U classroom. Andre Chase walks, he goes, good evening, class. And it's just Bodie, Hams, and Haley Paul. I imagine the whole seating plan is structured where the 3 that are still in there are the 3 on the left, and then the 3 empty chairs. The first chairs on the right are all empty, with the background players. And he goes, where's the rest of the class? Bodie goes, well, Thea was late, Morgan, she didn't do her homework, and then Shane came in, and he said that, and then they all left. And Chase goes, what do you mean they all left, huh? And then they all walk in, very, very late. She says, sorry I'm late, Mr. Chase, we were just having some fun, Shane was throwing back a couple of brewskis, I wasn't, of course. Morgan, she's getting a coffee, and I was just doing my homework. And Chase goes, I don't believe you. Where have the 3 of you been? Morgan goes, no, she's right. We're sorry we're late, Mr. Chase. He goes, you know, Andre Chase University used to be a place of honor. It used to be a place of greatness and respect for professional wrestling, and now you three are messing it up. Extra gold stars go to Bodie Hams and Haley for, you know, showing up on time and doing what was asked of them. But boy, running this university all by myself, it's starting to prove to be a lot more than I can handle right now. Then Morgan goes, well, why don't you take a break then, Mr. Chase? And he goes, break? You haven't got time for breaks here at Chase University, huh? Who do you think I am, break? Okay? I will break, but that's because I'll break the spirit of whichever opponent steps into the ring with me next time, because I've got to prove that I'm still the best professor in the history of WWE. If you've got a problem with that, Morgan, I'll see you outside. Deal? She goes, I'm good, Mr. Chase, thanks. He goes, yeah, great. That's what I thought. Now, turn to page 17. 73 rated tag team match here. Just a big showcase for Tegan and Piper, mainly, because they haven't really done much, apart from stand around. They pick up a tag team win in 12:50 over Nightlight. Tegan pins Shantae with a Vulture Culture Destroyer. 71 for Tegan, 59 for Piper, 56 for Shantae Washington, and a 74 for Naomi. I nearly said Cammy because I read her name, but that was just her being at ringside. And yeah, big win for Tegan and Piper here. You know, that should make the champion happy. Speaking of, though, she is out there alongside Cammy and Utami, and then Queen get into the ring after the match. Io starts speaking in Japanese. Utami, looks at her, nods her head, understood, and Tegan's like, well, what's she saying? Cammy goes, well, you know, for the uneducated, and also Tegan and Piper, we're working on getting them classes. Last week, the woman to my right, the Joshi Judas, the Genius of the Sky, the Women's World Champion, she was blindsided by a bald bastard Adam Pearce with a Cyber Sunday voting poll. Apparently, you now got to pick whether you want to see Asuka or Bianca or Dakota to face my client, the Genius of the Sky, the Women's World Champion, at Cyber Sunday. And not only that, but the match is inside a steel cage. Why? Apparently to keep Queendom out. Let me tell you something, Pierce. If Queendom want to get inside the steel cage, they'll get inside the steel cage. There's nothing a cage is going to do to stop them. But apparently, you know, Io's not going to know who her challenger is in Vegas until she's standing in the middle of the ring on the night, and the polls, the voices of the people tell her, ick. You know who should be getting a chance opportunity? Those who deserve it. And people who don't deserve that opportunity are people that Io's already beaten. Okay? That goes for Bianca. That goes for Asuka. That goes for Dakota. That goes for Candice, wherever she is. So it doesn't matter who you pick. Every single one of them will knock them all down. Because nobody can touch us. Bow down to the queens. They cut from that to, we see all three women, you know, all the three women up for votes, backstage watching. When Kayla walks up, she goes, ladies, you know, you don't know which one of you three is going to be at Cyber Sunday to challenge Io. And then it cuts off, Kayla, come on. Listen, I know this is the fan votes, okay? But, come on, we know who it's going to be challenging Io. Kayla goes, well, we're not going to find out till the day of. Bianca goes, oh, okay, of course, yeah, my bad. Does a wink at Kayla. She goes, what are you doing? It's like, I mean, is it not obvious, Kayla, that, you know, the fans are going to pick the EST, you know, the franchise player of WWE, to be Io's challenger at No Mercy. Cyber Sunday, even, not No Mercy. And Kayla goes, well, you know, it's... The other two have a lot more solid alibis than you do right now. And Bianca goes, and what? Okay, I'm the EST, I run this damn division. And Kayla goes, oh, will you shut up? Listen, I don't know if I'm going to get that opportunity either. Because, you know, there's three high-quality, highly deserving competitors who could take that championship from Io. Any one of us could do it. We saw Asuka beat her recently. I don't know if it's going to be me, but if it is me, can you just be locked in that cage with no interference from the rest of her cronies? I'm going to get that championship, and I'm going to do what Io should be doing. And that's defending it with honor against those who deserve opportunities. And Asuka just laughs. Doesn't really say much. Solo then comes out. He gets his full entrance. And he just comes out and he stands in the ring, arms folded. Taking in whatever reaction they give him. I don't know. I imagine boos. I imagine this in my head as a scenario where, the heel turned healer on a heel. So, I put Seth in a lot of these situations where he is still technically a heel, but he's up against other heels that are more heely than him. So Solo stuck the thumb in Seth's neck last week, and I imagine that's given him heat because, even though we don't like Seth Rollins, we do secretly. And he just stands there. He doesn't say anything. He's got the mic in his hand, but he doesn't say anything. He just stands there with his arms folded. Probably with that exact look on his face, actually. When out storms Nathan Fraser. And he goes, "Look, Solo, I get it, you look tough. You are tough. Last week you took out one of the greatest world champions in WWE history. You took out one of the top stars here in WWE. But more importantly than that, to me, you took out my mentor. A man that broke me into this industry, gave me that big break to go on to become a star here on SmackDown. Now look, me and Seth, we're a lot alike, but also at the same time not very alike at all. And you can like the man, I sure as hell don't like what he's doing right now, but that's my mentor and I respect the hell out of him. And for you to do what you did last week showed me a lack of disrespect, not just to Seth Rollins, but to me and those like me." And so just still stands there, just arms folded, glaring a hole through Nathan Fraser. And then as Solo goes to leave, he takes down Nathan Fraser with a big clothesline, hits a Samoan spike on him. He's out cold. Probably just the one on Nathan Fraser. To sell the impact that one can knock this man out for the rest of the night, but then imagine what three could do. But yeah, just Nathan Fraser felt like the correct man on this roster to come to the aid of Seth. He doesn't have much friends, Seth, He had two of them and they've just... Well, I don't even know what Jacob Fatu is, because he might technically still be Seth's friend. But he had two and one of them's definitely betrayed him. So, the guy he trained felt like the best person to come in, and sort of defend Seth's honor. But he did die for it, so rip. They got our second main event promo, this time from Buster, with the rest of Revolution behind him. It says, "Last week, the world truly got to witness the next generation of WWE. They truly got to witness a revolution here in sports and in entertainment when Buster Gates, the revolutionary himself, took on T-Move version of himself, Montez Ford, in the main event of SmackDown for the World Heavyweight Championship, but he came up short. Now, I'm not one to sit around here and bitch and moan. I did that recently. I held a grudge against Seth Rollins for 10 months and I cashed that damn check. So Montez Ford, this ain't gonna get to 10 months. This ain't even gonna get to 10 days. Because tonight, I'm winning this Fatal 4-Way main event. And then on Cyber Sunday, when it's me and you again in Las Vegas, Nevada, I'm gonna show you the world why you're a level beneath me and I'm at the top. And the revolution will be televised. 15. Bleh. Yeah. I knew this wasn't going to do well at all. But it is the in-ring debut of Out the Mud, Lucian Price and Bronco Nima of Mogul Affiliates. They defeat Terrell and Terrence Dudley, the sons of Devon Dudley, in 3 minutes 41, when Bronco Nima pins Terrence Dudley. 24 for Lucian Price, which is this one. 22 for Bronco Nima, which is that one. 38 for Terrence. And 40 for Terrell. But then after the match, Lord Bando's in the ring. He's dancing to I Swerve When I Drive. When Swerve Scott grabs the mic. And he starts laughing into the mic. He goes, John Cena, big match, John. You've left already, have you? What, you're still busy even though you got nothing going on? Why can't you be out here face to face with me? Anyway, earlier on tonight, you thought you were the big man. But I'm here to tell you you're not. We don't need you around here, John, anymore. You're past your expiration date because you only stayed around here because the previous generation couldn't fill the role that you left. But that's not the case anymore, because I'm taking that role. I jumped and demolished and cast aside that dead weight that was holding me back last week, and I've surrounded myself with those who were trying their best to get to the top of this game. Bronco Nima, Lucian Price, Lord, Bando, Mogul affiliates. Now, John, something you said did please me. And that's when you said that it'll be me and you at Cyber Sunday. But what you did leave off, John, is that, you know, the people, you know, you like to pander to the WWE universe all the time. You like to be the voice of the voiceless, you know, the people's voice here in WWE, and quite frankly, I don't give a damn what those people like or want. But I'll humor you. So let's see if their love is reciprocated, John. Because me and you, Cyber Sunday, the fans get to pick what kind of match we're having. Are they gonna pick good old TLC? Are they gonna pick Last Man Standing? Or are they gonna pick a good old fashioned Las Vegas street fight? The choice ain't up to me, John. The choice ain't up to you. And this is the most fitting ending of John Cena that I can think of. The people get to decide how you call it quits. The rest of Hit Row come out. I've actually rated them in this segment just to see how it would do. And Top Dollar goes, nah, Swerve, nah. Okay, what's this, okay? What's this? Mogul affiliates? Okay, is that what this is all about, huh? Swerve, you know, casting me aside, what? Because I'm dead weight, hey? I'm fat, I can't rap. You throw them at me out here, I've heard them all before. Okay, I've been dual sports athlete, been told I suck in all of them. But that ain't gonna stop me grinding, Swerve, because I've got that heart. But you took the easy way out. We weren't living up to your expectations, and you cast us aside for a new group of friends. Well, I see you. You're calling out John Cena. Good luck with John Cena, Swerve. Because he eats guys like you for breakfast. And then Swerve goes, well, would you look, everybody? It's my former friend known as Hit Row now. Top Dollar. I should call you AJ now. I don't know if this is going to get through to you because, you know, you're clearly as smart as you are talented in the ring, which is not very. You're not invited out here anymore. You're dead to me. You are dead. Wait. And Tom goes, no, I heard that the first time you said it. But, how's this for dead weight? And he just smacks Swerve in the mouth with some brass knuckles on. He just sandbags to the floor. And then finally, a big pop. Top Dollar's finally put his hands on Swerve. And then Ashanti and B-Fab are like still like trying like, oh my god, don't do it. Top Dollar, don't do it. But he's there, he's ready to try and jump on Swerve when Bronco Nima and Lucian Price attack him as well. Top Dollar's down 2-on-1, Nima and Price. Ashanti's looking on, like he's sort of like protecting B-Fab in the corner, but like still looking back concerned at Top Dollar every now and again. And then when Bronco Nima and Lucian Price pick him up, Swerve's back to his feet at this point, barking orders. Ashanti will spring into life and jump on the back of Bronco Nima, like attacking him. And Top Dollar, he'll twat Lucian Price in the face with the brass knuckles as well. And then Lord Bando and Swerve would retreat, and they'd call Nemo and Price out with them. And yeah, Hit Row finally had enough. You know, last week they got kicked to the curb by Swerve. Tonight they're getting their lick back. We then cut backstage. Kayla's with Pete Dunne. I feel like I've stopped me if you've heard this one before. Pete Dunne's just defended the title. He doesn't know who's next. He's going to ask who's next. And this time, instead of getting a threat, we hear sarcastic, well, well, well. It seems that old PT boy here has run out of challenges for his United States Championship. Oh, what a pickle we're in, Caleb Braxton. Now you see, that's actually not true because there's one person here on SmackDown that Pete has not defended the title against because he knows it's not going to end well for him. That man's obviously not Trick Williams. That man's obviously not Nathan Fraser. That man's not Angelo Dawkins. That man's not Swerve. The man better than all of those names I listed. Bobby Fish. Where's the lie? He goes, huh, you're funny, are you? You're still doing this? Well, guess what, Bobby? I've been looking for a new challenger. And next week, I'll break your fingers and knock your teeth down your throat. Where's the lie? So yeah, Bobby Fish is the next to step up for a US title match. He'll to face off against Pete Dunne next week for the belt. We then get a video that's like taped earlier in today, but it's just airing now. It's Florence arriving at the arena, you know, with a suitcase and a Money in the Bank briefcase. I say, you know, Florence, no mercy, you kept the hold of your briefcase. You know, what's next for you? She goes, what's next for me? The same thing that's always been next for me. Catching this baby in and becoming Women's World Champion. And then Tiffany, oh, boring. Okay, listen. Congratulations on winning the damn thing as well, but realistically it should have been me, but, you know, you got lucky. But you can walk around here and say all the time what you're going to do. You know, all I've heard since you won that case that you're going to cash it in soon, but here we still stand. Nearly November, and you still have that thing. Because that thing, maybe with a little bit of a makeover, not as it is right now, doesn't look good with you. It look better with me. I suppose you love to run your mouth and your tiff. You know, it's really quite pathetic, actually. But if I'm looking to cash this in and become Women's World Champion, I'm gonna need warm-up matches tonight against you. He goes, what? That's so not fair. Let me go talk to Pierce because this absolutely will not stand. And then obviously she does go talk to Pierce and it does stand. It is official, he says. Oh. 63, that's... Oof, woof. Bronson Steiner submits Big Problem Cass with a Steiner recliner in 9:46. 85 for Bronson Steiner, 47 for Big Problem Cass. He doesn't tap out, he passes out because we are, you know, building him up as the big problem, you know. He beat Omos. You can't just bitch him out like right after. So he does look somewhat strong in defeat, but a defeat it is. 85 for Bronson Steiner, 47 for Big Problem Cass. And yeah, another dominant win for old Bronson here. Third of the four-way promos, Ilya Dragunov talking about how he's the Mad Dragon and he's, you know, he had one taste of World Heavyweight Championship glory when he fought Carmelo Hayes at whatever TV special it was at. And he also had one at WrestleMania in that four-way. But tonight is his chance, you know, to make it 3 times, and for the third time will be the charm for the Mad Dragon because no one can put him down. Shit like that. Speaking of champions, we then come back to the Queendom locker room. And Io sat there, Utami, Cammy, and then Piper and Tegan walk in. And then they go, Io, we did it, you know, we won. And Io goes, yay. And then starts shouting in Japanese, like pointing her fingers at each member individually. And then Utami sort of slowly nods her head and walks out. And Tegan looks at him and goes, what's she saying? What's she saying? And Kemi goes, well, ladies, I hope you all enjoyed your time as phase 1 of Queendom's operation, which was finding steady footing here on the blue brand, because the woman to my right, the Joshi Judas, the Genius of the Sky, the Women's World Champion, has spoken. She reigns atop as the Women's World Champion here on SmackDown, and that'll remain the case no matter who she faces at Cyber Sunday. But it's time for us all to be champions. Starting next week when Utami Hayashishita challenges Roxy for that Liberty Championship. And then not too long after, Piper and Tegan, you two challenge for the Women's Tag Team Championships. And we finally get domination from Queendom here on Friday nights. So yeah, Rio's big plan, I guess, is to get belts on everybody in Queendom. Let's see if that can work. Starting off with Roxanne Perez versus Utami Hayashishita for the Liberty Championship next week here on SmackDown. The thing I want to say about Queendom is I like the format I have with the group, because like there's Utami in there, so Io can still speak her native tongue, like just naturally, because she'd do that. And then there's still somebody there that can understand it, so it obviously does still serve a purpose. But then I also have Tegan and Piper there who don't understand Japanese, which is like a non-kayfabe breaking way of having it be translated for those watching, because it's like, oh, it's Tegan asking what was said because she doesn't understand. So like we know what Io's saying, even though she is saying it in Japanese in segments where like it won't be subtitled. I think that's a good little, narrative to have with the group. 76. Here's the match: Tiffany versus Florence. Apparently this is the first time they ever wrestled a one-on-one. I thought for sure I booked that match before, but I guess not. Florence does win. 14 minutes and 4 seconds of a rain flow. 85 for Florence, 61 for Tiffany. And yeah, another big win for Miss Money in the Bank. Who knows what her future holds. Next week, though, is a pretty busy show. Because after their face-to-face earlier on tonight, when Nathan Fraser came to defend the honor of his mentor, he will go one-on-one with Solo Sikoa on next week's episode of SmackDown. And we heard earlier on tonight that the next United States Championship contender has been crowned. Bobby Fish will be the one to challenge Pete Dunne for the United States Championship. And big tag team implications here as the Creed brothers face Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams, with the winner of that becoming a future contender for Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens' titles. And Io's quest to get everybody in Queendom gold begins next week when she takes on... I realised I called it just Roxy Perez in the segment. It might not actually be Roxy, because there is a Liberty Championship match at High Voltage tomorrow night between her, Ali Maikawa, and Gigi Dolan. But it will be whoever the Liberty Champion is will face Utami for the belt on next week's SmackDown. And we now have a new match set for Cyber Sunday. It will be Swerve Scott and John Cena one-on-one. And the match stipulations you have are Last Man Standing, Las Vegas Street Fight, and TLC. It'll be like a pinfall TLC. There won't be anything hanging above the ring, so it'll be one of those TLC matches that you win by pinfall or submission. Yeah, but it's different to different name of a no disqualification match, which was my only other option. We then get the final promo ahead of the Fatal 4-Way. Let me talk to you. I've been hearing everybody, dummies every single day of the night, running their mouths. Buster Gates, dummy, yeah. Daniel Bryan, dummy, yeah. Ilya Dragunov, dummy, yeah. But not all of them think they're going to get the shot at the World Heavyweight Championship. Well, let me tell you. Let me talk to you. That ain't going to be the case, because there's only one. I imagine this is one of those segments where he's leaving his locker room as he starts talking, and then he's walking through the hallways to Gorilla. And because there's only one person getting that shot. Montez Ford, he's been running his mouth for far too long, running away from the inevitable next challenge. That challenge coming at the hands of that megastar. And when it comes to Cyber Sunday, and I get that shot at that World Heavyweight Championship, and you people have to vote on whatever it ends up being that you've got to pick on, I know you're going to be on the side not of that loser Montez Ford, but of the one and only megastar, the new World Heavyweight Champion, with everybody saying L.A. Knight, yeah. Now play that L.A. jam, Donnie, yeah. Then his music hits, and we go out to the main event, which gets an 88. Honestly, could have been better. I had aspirations for high 90s for some reason. I guess just because Brian's in the match. But in 24 minutes 42, Ilya Dragunov is the one who wins. He pins Buster Gates with the Torpedo Moscow in 24:42. I imagine we do run back a lot of the Ilya Bryan spots from their match in this four-way, as well as, a brief face-to-face between LA Knight and Daniel Bryan. I want to make sure that there's a specific moment where the two of them are the two in the ring, and we do the yeah boo spot, but they're yearing LA Knight and knowing Daniel Bryan. I just want to make sure that's done, for a later point in time, let's say. 85 for LA Knight, 89 for Ilya Dragunov, 81 for Buster Gates, and a 95 for Daniel Bryan. But yes, it will be Ilya Dragunov, the man, challenging Montez Ford for the World Heavyweight Championship. I don't know what vote I'm going to do for the match, because it probably won't have a stipulation at all. But I'll think of something. Maybe just stick a special guest ref in there, I don't know. But yeah, that ends the show, which gets us 87. I'll take that. And yeah, even. Yeah, what matters more though is what you thought of the show. Definitely a come down from last week's wild ass show, but still some stuff progressed along nicely. I will say with the SmackDown, specifically on the women's main event side, most of that will pick up in November. So it will start next week, but we're building towards we're looking at Survivor Series as the end goal there. But coming up next is Velocity. Again, I don't believe there is a championship match because this is 3 days before Dante Rios faces Young Sensei on Raw. But, LA Extreme sure seemed to throw their hat into the ring for a potential trio-style match last week. So let's see what happens with that. Heat kicks off with, why the fuck was Terrence Dudley a road agent? Okay, what the fuck? Okay, whatever. Oro Mensah picking up a win. He beats JJ Gale in 9:54 with an instant kill. 62 for Oro, 50 for JJ. He is very much positioned on SmackDown as just, LA Knights, not LA Knights, well, technically, yeah, LA Knights whipping boy, but I meant Montez Ford. It's not his fault that LA Knight's been the one doing the whipping recently. So, might as well just give him a win on Velocity, to at least have him looking somewhat credible. But he's very much in a role on the main roster where he gets beaten like a drum every single week. So yeah, throw him a bone, give him a win over a dev guy. Yeah. He gets a 62 as well, which actually isn't bad. And they get a 75. Raw versus SmackDown here is... No, Wesley's on ECW, sorry, not Raw. Wesley beats Kylan Rogers in 14 minutes and 14 seconds by pinfall. 81 for Wesley, 54 for Kylan Rogers. Yeah, 75 of that's pretty good, actually. Then our main event is a trios match, gets a 62. Terrence Dudley again was on road agent. Of course, he just so happened to be registered as a road agent. And out of 3 matches, out of every single road agent I have under contract, the game just so happened to put him in twice. Whatever. But yes, it is LA Extremes, Jorge Santana, Santos Escobar, and Rush defeating the Mexicals. 3 other Mexican men. Super Crazy, Psychosis, and Juventud. When Santos pins Hoovy with a Phantom Driver in 16:28. 88 for Rush. 88 for Rush. 66 for Santos, 70 for Jorge, 45 for Hoovy, 42 for Psychosis, and a 43 for Super Crazy. Every Mexical apart from Psychosis was tiring. Okay. Rush really stood out. Okay. Nice. But then after the match, we do get Dirty Dom. I imagine Cynthia Crespo was on commentary for that. Probably with Dominic, actually. Probably both of them, like, bickering back and forth. But then after the match, we do get the official challenge laid out by Dirty Dom. Next week on Velocity, Rouge Santos and Jorge will challenge Death from Above for the Trios Championship. And the whole time you can see that Rouge Santos and Jorge don't really care for Dom. But, he's Conan's... I normally like to, let the dichotomy of a group play out on screen. But I do think it is probably important to just straight up just say, Conan promised Ray he'd look after his son, so that's why he's in the group. And he's that baby brother that these three don't want. But he has got them a title match. So, he's in their good books right now. And that ends the show. Gets us a 65. Well, that's more what you did for the show. Mainly of SmackDown, I guess. And I'll see you next time for 434, which will be High Voltage, ECW's first pay-per-view since, the relaunch. See you then.